Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let your shoulders soften. Let your hands rest wherever they are most comfortable. The day has already done enough. You have already done enough. Now it is time to drift into stillness, into a world where candlelight glows against ancient stone, where the air hums with quiet curiosity. Imagine yourself there. A castle high above a moonlit valley, the air outside cool and steady, the faintest scent of lavender and smoke drifting through a narrow arched window. Somewhere far below, the last of the torches sputter and fade, and high above it all, in a round tower lined with tapestries and old maps, a queen sits awake. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Our story tonight begins here. In her candlelit chamber, she sketches machines inspired by the stars. Her name, whispered by few and recorded by fewer, has been forgotten by time. But her hands, oh, her hands still seem to move across the ages, quick, deliberate, and dream-soft, drawing gears and moon phases on a parchment spread before her. Listen, just for a moment, to the slow, comforting sounds of the room. The low crackle of a hearth fire, its light flickering gold on stone. The sigh of the wind pressing gently against the glass panes. The soft, rhythmic scratch of charcoal across paper. Each sound is steady, soothing, like a heartbeat, slow, sure, and deeply calm. Outside her tower, the kingdom sleeps, wrapped in silence, fields dusted silver by moonlight. But inside, her thoughts are alive, dancing between science and wonder. You might imagine the gentle glow of dozens of tiny candles, their flames flickering like stars of their own, reflecting in her eyes. She was not a queen of war, nor of vanity. She ruled quietly, through questions, through the calm pursuit of what others feared to ask. And tonight, she draws something new. A wheel that turns with the breath of the wind, and another that spins with the pull of the moon's tides. Her world believed such thoughts belonged to men, to monks, to scholars, locked behind monastery doors. But she believes differently. You can feel that calm defiance, not fierce or loud, but like the still water that wears down even the strongest stone. Take another slow breath in, and let it drift out as she pauses to study her parchment. You might imagine the sound of her sleeve brushing softly over the table, silk against wood, a sound as gentle as falling rain. Her quill rests beside a small inkpot, black and glimmering, and near it an astrolabe, an intricate brass instrument used to measure the positions of stars. In the hush of night, she tilts it toward the window. Through the narrow opening, she sees the constellations rise, Orion, Cassiopeia, and the great northern star holding steady. Her breath catches softly. The stars, she thinks, must be gears in some celestial clock, perfectly turning, perfectly aligned. And as you listen, perhaps you feel yourself becoming part of that turning motion. Each breath in, the stars drawing closer. Each breath out, the earth spinning gently beneath them. Slow, steady, peaceful. In the corridor beyond her door, the guards pace quietly. Their armor hums faintly with each step, not harshly, but like the faint chime of distant bells. The sound fades again, leaving her alone with her sky. She reaches for another parchment, one filled with half-finished sketches. This one shows the design of a small fountain meant to run forever without a servant's hand. Such things, perpetual motion, secret mechanics, were whispered dreams among scholars of her time. She doesn't seek to control them, only to understand their quiet rhythm. There's something deeply tranquil about her focus, the way she leans in, candlelight, painting her face in soft gold. Each movement deliberate, unhurried, as though time itself bows to her calm. Outside, a night bird calls. The sound echoes against the castle walls, a lonely, beautiful note that fades into the hum of wind through ivy leaves. The queen lifts her eyes toward the sound, smiling faintly. And in that moment, you can feel the peace she feels, a quiet companionship with the world itself. Her thoughts drift to the stories her tutor once told her of Hildegard, the abbess who wrote of the stars and the soul, of Eleanor, who spoke to philosophers and poets, of nameless women who looked upward when the world told them to look down. She thinks of them not as rebels, but as dreamers who refused to stop dreaming. You might notice your breathing slowing now, just like hers. Inhale, calm and cool. Exhale, soft and heavy. Let the quiet of her tower settle around you like a cloak. The soft texture of stone walls, the distant whisper of the ocean beyond the cliffs, the glowing circle of candlelight that wraps both her and you in golden warmth. She returns to her work, charcoal gliding again, sketching a mechanism to capture sunlight, to measure wind, to track the turning of seasons. Each line drawn, each gear imagined, each star watched, all blend together into a lullaby of curiosity. Outside, dawn is still far away. The night is hers, vast, gentle, endless, and the stars above her window shimmer like eyes that watch kindly over dreamers. You can imagine the warmth of the hearth, the soft pop of ember, the faint glow against your eyelids. The warmth seeps into your chest, your arms, your hands. You feel yourself softening, loosening, floating just a little deeper into rest. The queen yawns, though she tries to hide it from herself. Her charcoal slips from her fingers, rolling gently across the table. She leans back in her carved wooden chair, the silk of her gown rustling like wind through grass. And there, surrounded by maps and stars and half-drawn inventions, she allows her eyes to close, her breath even, her hands grow still. The candle flames sway gently and settle. Outside, the moon tilts westward, content to keep her secret, and the quiet, curious queen drifts into her own kind of dream, a dream of light and motion and endless, gentle wonder. The fire sighs one last time, the ink dries, the world holds its breath, and for a long, peaceful moment, nothing moves but the stars. Breathe in slowly, let the air cool as it moves through your nose. Breathe out longer than you breathed in, and let everything soften a little more. You are still in the Queen's Tower, in that quiet moment when the world seems made only of candlelight and dreams. The room feels warmer now, as if the hearth remembers that she has fallen asleep and guards her rest. The flames sway lazily, folding into each other, whispering their own soft lullabies in the language of embers. The charcoal she dropped lies still beside her sketch, a faint trail of black dust across the parchment, like the shadow of a comet that has passed. Outside, the wind slows. The trees below the tower rustle, just enough to let you hear that gentle hush of leaves itch leaf brushing another, small and steady, like the sound of fabric against skin. Somewhere far below, an owl calls again, its cry round and hollow, then fading into silence. The queen sleeps at her table for a long while, and in that sleep she dreams of a clock. Not a clock of brass or gears, but one built from stars and breath and heartbeat. She walks through it as if it were a garden. Every flower is a planet, every vine a trail of light, and each step she takes makes a soft, ringing sound like the echo of a bell underwater. She knows, in the way dreams know themselves, that she is walking through her own mind, the same place where she keeps her questions, her drawings, her quiet rebellions. She smiles, touching a cluster of silver blooms that glow softly when her fingertips brush them. The air of the dream is cool and deep, like night wrapped around a lullaby. You might feel it too, like cool starlight resting lightly on your skin. A voice drifts toward her, low and kind. All the turning worlds are mirrors, my queen. She cannot see who speaks. Perhaps it is one of her old tutors, or perhaps it is the voice of time itself. They do not turn to leave you behind, it says. They turn to keep you moving. She breathes in that idea, slow and deep, and the whole garden of stars brightens for a moment, as if the universe were sighing in contentment. Now, as you listen, imagine her stirring in her chair. The dream fades like mist, and the soft world of her tower returns. She wakes before dawn. The first hint of pale blue light slides through the narrow window. Candles burn, low tiny islands of fire, surrounded by golden wax. Her fingers stretch. She smiles faintly at the sight of the sketches before her. She does not erase them. She traces one line with her fingertip, whispering a word that only she understands. Outside, the first bird begins to sing. It is a small sound, a single note, pure and rounded. Then another answers it from far away. Soon the whole valley is waking, softly, as if joining a hymn that grows by breath alone. The queen stands and walks toward the window. The air that enters is cool and smells of dew and distant bread ovens, of wet stone and moss. She closes her eyes and lets the breeze move through her hair. It feels like being blessed by the morning itself. Her heart beats slowly, in rhythm with the world. She thinks of the people beyond the castle, the blacksmith who wakes to light his forge, the shepherds counting their sheep, the baker folding dough while the sky turns pink. Each of them, she thinks, lives by a rhythm just as the planets do. And in that thought, she finds both peace and purpose. She takes a quill now, dipping it into fresh ink. The tip glides across a new page. She writes not formulas, not commands, but letters. A letter to the daughter she will one day have, or perhaps to every daughter the future will ever know. Look to the skies, she writes, but do not forget the hands that build what you dream. When the world says a woman must not measure the heavens, measure them twice, and when you are tired, let the stars measure you by your wonder, by your patience, by your quiet courage. The ink dries to a soft shine. She folds the parchment, presses a seal into it with her ring, and places it inside a small wooden chest filled with other sealed letters. You can almost hear the faint click as the lid closes, a sound like a secret falling asleep. Now she turns back toward the hearth. The fire is mostly embers, glowing a deep orange red. She kneels, feeding it one last branch, watching the small sparks climb upward and vanish. For a moment, She thinks she can see the shapes of her dreams in the smoke-tiny machines turning among the flames, delicate as moths. The sun finally breaks the horizon. Light spills across the chamber floor, touching every scroll and quill, every gear and piece of parchment. The golden light warms the cool stone, turning it honey-colored and kind. You can imagine standing there, yourself, barefoot, feeling the smooth floor against your feet, the sunlight brushing your eyelids, that subtle hum of morning energy that feels like renewal itself. The queen closes her eyes again. The day ahead will be long meetings, decisions, voices raised and lowered. But right now, she takes one last quiet breath and lets the moment fill her completely. Everything turns, she whispers, as if reminding herself. Everything finds its rhythm. And just like that, the calm that began in her tower spreads outward, across the courtyard, across the valley, through the forest, and into the world beyond. A calm carried by sunlight, by wind, by the memory of stars and the promise of day. You feel it, too, this steady warmth moving through your chest, this gentle hush inside your thoughts. You are the tower and the sky, the dreamer and the dawn. All of it breathing together, slow and easy. So breathe once more in, through your nose, out through your mouth. Let the breath carry you deeper, lighter, quieter. There is nothing you need to do now, nothing to hold. Just the gentle sound of the queen's world waking, and your own body floating in peace. The morning in the castle unfolds, like a sigh. Somewhere in the courtyard, a bucket tips, a gate creaks open, a horse breathes steam into the cool air. The sounds come gently, as if wrapped in linen. They reach the tower window like memories of work rather than work itself. The queen lingers by the window, watching the light climb the opposite wall. Every stone catches gold. Dust motes drift and turn, small worlds spinning inside sunlight. She moves her hand through them and laughs softly when they scatter. It's the kind of laughter that lives halfway between waking and dreaming. Her maid arrives, feet light on the stair. A soft knock, a pause, then another. Majesty, shall I bring the morning tray? The queen answers without turning. Only tea, my dear, and quietly. Soon the scent of steeping herbs fills the chamber. Mint, a touch of rose, and something faintly earthy that reminds her of rain. The cup is warm in her hands. She sips, and warmth gathers behind her ribs, blooming outward until even her fingertips glow. As she drinks, her eyes drift to the instruments on the table: astrolabe, compass, half-finished sketch. The drawings from last night seem almost alive now, their lines crisp in the morning light. She traces one with her finger and whispers, "You waited for me." A scroll on the shelf catches her attention. It is older, its ribbon frayed, its seal long broken. She unrolls it carefully, the parchment sighing as if relieved to stretch again. Inside is a chart of the heavens, drawn by an astronomer she once studied in secret. In the margin, a note in his own hand reads, "Where the stars move, so must we." She thinks of the dream, again the garden of stars. The voice that spoke of motion and feels that same calm certainty rising like a tide. Motion is life. Stillness, too, is part of the turning. Outside, the courtyard fills with the murmur of morning. The queen's people move about their work, unaware that their ruler stands above them, thinking not of politics, but of planets. She smiles at the thought. To them she is a figure of distance and grace, but here, in her quiet tower, she is only a woman who wonders. The breeze shifts, curtains stir. The faint rustle of silk and the low hum of wind through ivy weave together into something musical, a sound like breathing. You can feel it if you listen, the rhythm of the world, moving in time with your own breath. She crosses to a chest beside the hearth, lifts its lid. Inside are small marvels, a tiny wheel carved from bone, a silver lens polished to a mirror's shine, a handful of smooth river stones marked with faint circles. These are her private experiments, pieces of curiosity she hides from the court's solemn eyes. Each one holds a question she has not yet answered. She picks up the lens and turns it toward the window. The sunlight bends, scattering tiny rainbows across the walls. The colors slide slowly, lazily through the air. They touch her skin, paint her sleeve, dance across the parchment. For a moment she is part of them, light made human. Her maid watches silently, then whispers, "Your Majesty makes her own sunrise." The queen smiles. "No," she says, "I only let the light play." She places the lens back in its box, closes the lid softly. The small click seems to echo forever, like the sound of the day beginning. Now she walks to the door. The corridor beyond is cool, scented with beeswax and fresh rushes. Her slippers make almost no sound on the stone. As she passes a window, she looks down upon her gardens, rows of rosemary, lavender, sage. Monks in a nearby abbey once taught her their meanings: memory, peace, courage. She mouths the words as she walks. Memory, peace, courage. Down one flight of stairs, she enters the chapel. The air here is different, quiet, but full, like the inside of a shell. A single beam of sunlight falls through the stained glass, scattering rubies and sapphires across the floor. She kneels in that light, not to pray, but to listen. She listens to her own heartbeat, to the faint creak of wood, to the sound of dust settling. All the tiny, ordinary noises that weave together into stillness. When she stands again, she feels lighter. The questions waiting upstairs no longer press against her mind. They float, patient, like boats waiting for wind. She returns to her tower slowly, stopping at each window to breathe in the scent of the morning, the spice of pine, the dampness of moss. You can almost feel it on your own skin, cool and refreshing after the warmth of the hearth. Each breath draws you further into the peace of her world. Back at her desk, she lights a single new candle. The flame catches with a whisper, folds into a steady glow. She dips her quill, opens her notebook, and begins to write again. Her handwriting is slow, looping, careful. Each word feels like a step in a quiet dance. This is what she writes. Every turning has a still point. In the heart of the storm, silence. In the center of thought, rest. Find that still point, and the world will speak. She pauses, reads the lines, then smiles. "Good," she murmurs. "Yes, that's it." A knock interrupts her. It's the captain of the guard, bringing the morning reports. She listens, politely, nods, gives brief orders in a voice so soft that even the birds outside seem to hush to hear it. When he leaves, she is alone again. Alone, but never lonely. She pours herself another cup of tea. The surface trembles as she sets it down, and she watches the ripples spread outward, ring after ring, until the liquid grows still again. The pattern reminds her of the moon's pull on the ocean, of one quiet force moving another without noise or command. That thought lingers. You can feel it echoing gently inside, youth, the idea that peace itself has gravity. As the morning deepens, sunlight creeps across her sketches. She covers them with a cloth, not to hide them, but to protect their slumber, as if the drawings themselves might need to dream. She moves to the window once more. Below, the valley glows golden. A small windmill turns slowly by the stream, its sails bright against the green. She studies its motion, the rhythm of turning blades, the way the shadow passes over water. The design pleases her. It matches something she drew weeks ago. Perhaps she will improve it tonight, when the stars return. For now, she simply watches. Watching is its own kind of prayer. The world outside continues, soft and steady. You can sense the day stretching wide, the hum of bees in the garden, the clink of tools in the stables, the echo of laughter from far below. Every sound finds its place, fitting neatly into the gentle machinery of the day. And through it all, the queen stands quiet, breathing in time with everything that moves. Inhale, exhale, all turning together. The day unfolds with a hush that feels deliberate. By mid-afternoon, light has shifted into honey-colored beams that slant across the tower floor. Dust swirls lazily, 1,000 tiny suns in suspension. Outside, bees drift between lavender stalks, the hum rising and falling like gentle breathing. The queen sits once more at her work table. Her sleeves are rolled to the elbow now. A smudge of charcoal darkens one wrist. She does not hurry. Each movement, dipping the quill, turning a page, reaching for a compass, unfolds with the same tranquil rhythm as her pulse. She is sketching something new, a model for a clock powered by the steady drip of water. A memory surfaces of monks she once visited, who used clepsydras to measure the hours of prayer. They told her that time was sacred because it never stopped. Now she wonders whether stillness might also be sacred, the quiet between one drop and the next. Listen to that silence now, between the tiny imagined drips. Plink and then wait. Plink and more waiting. A heartbeat made of water and patience. In that rhythm, your own body begins to agree. The muscles at the base of your neck release. Your hands feel heavier, but pleasantly so. Your breath becomes the water, slow, regular, gentle. She leans over her design, drawing the channel where the drops will fall. The candle beside her wavers slightly, as if nodding approval. A servant enters quietly, bringing a plate of bread, cheese, and sliced pear. He bows, sets the tray down, withdraws. The smell of warm crust and fruit fills the chamber. She takes a small piece, chews thoughtfully, tasting salt and sweetness. Even eating seems like study, discovering how simple flavors balance each other. The window is open now. A breeze brushes through, teasing the candle flame. Far below, laughter drifts from the courtyard. For a moment, she allows herself to simply listen. The voices, the birds, the wind moving through ivy. A living symphony with no conductor, yet perfectly timed. Her eyes wander toward the small chest of letters, the ones she writes but never sends. Curiosity flickers. She chooses one at random, breaks the wax, unfolds the parchment. It is addressed to no one and everyone, to the dreamers who will never meet me. If you look at the stars long enough, you will hear them breathe. They speak in cycles and tides, and the hush between seconds. Listen closely, and the world will answer back. She traces the signature, just her initial, and sighs softly. The air tastes faintly of ink and ash, a strangely comforting scent. Outside, clouds gather, not storm clouds, but the high, soft kind that carry shade rather than rain. The light dims a little, the room cools. She wraps a shawl around her shoulders, a pale blue wool that smells faintly of lavender storage chests. The texture is gentle, familiar. Now she lights a second candle. The twin flames make the shadows tremble, turning the walls into a moving tapestry of gold and bronze. In that flicker, she begins to see shapes: a wheel, a ladder, a bird mid-flight. Imagination paints its own constellations across stone. She picks up a small bronze sphere from her desk, her favorite trinket. Inside are rings that turn within rings, mimicking the motion of planets. When she tilts it, the metal whispers softly, a delicate scraping that sounds almost like wind through reeds. She watches it spin, mesmerized. And as she watches, you may notice your own thoughts begin to spin slower, steadier, as though following the same quiet orbit. Outside, the evening bell rings once. Its tone is low and deep, rolling across the valley. It vibrates through the stones, through the floor, through her bones, through yours. Each vibration seems to loosen something hidden, something tense. She closes her eyes and lets the bell fade. The silence that follows is even deeper, sweet with the residue of sound. She whispers. The day bows to the night and rises from her chair. Her feet find the rhythm of twilight as she moves to the window. Below, torches bloom along the outer wall, small circles of gold against the gathering blue. The river catches that glow, carrying it downstream like liquid fire. She watches until the first star appears, a pale glimmer just above the horizon. Another follows, and another. Soon the whole sky seems to wake again. She smiles, whispering to herself. They kept their promise. She reaches for her cloak and steps out onto the narrow balcony. The air is cooler now, scented with damp stone and distant rain. Wind slides along the parapet, fluttering the parchment still left on her table. She doesn't stop. Let the wind read, she thinks. Let the sky know. For a long time she stands there, looking up. The stars pulse faintly, alive and near. She lifts her hand as though to measure them, her fingers framing one bright point. She murmurs, "You spin, and I spin, and between us, silence." That silence folds itself around her shoulders like a cloak, and it folds around you to soft, weightless, infinite. She turns back inside. The fire has burned low, its heart a red glow, its edges crumbling into gray. She kneels and stirs the coals, watching sparks rise like fireflies and vanish. The smell of warm ash fills the air, faintly sweet, faintly sad. She adds one small log, hears it crack, sees the orange bloom of flame. The fire answers her touch, alive again. You can almost feel that warmth brushing your skin, the kind of heat that melts the edges of thought. She whispers, "Rest now," though it's unclear whether she speaks to the fire or herself, perhaps to both. She removes her crown and sets it on the table. Its weight leaves a ring-shaped memory on her hair, but she doesn't mind. Freedom is a lighter thing. As she unpins her shawl, you can hear the faint clink of metal, the rustle of wool. She drapes it across the back of the chair, then turns toward her bed, a simple frame draped in linen and pale blue silk. The sheets look cool, inviting. She touches them, smiling at their softness. Then she sits, letting her body sink, feeling the mattress embrace her. Her fingers rest in her lap. Her breathing slows again, deep and even. The candles tremble, tiny suns in their final hour. The queen closes her eyes and whispers, "Thank you, night." Outside, wind sighs through ivy. Somewhere in the stables, a horse snorts softly. In the kitchen, a door shuts with a wooden thump, and then, gradually, all things still. The room becomes a cocoon of sound, hearth crackling, air moving. her own steady breath, the kind of sound that carries you down, down deeper toward sleep. Before we begin, take a deep breath in, hold it for a gentle moment, and slowly let it go. Let your eyes soften. Let every word that follows flow through you like calm water. You are still in the Queen's Tower, but the night has deepened, the kind of velvet darkness that feels protective, like the world has folded you safely inside it. The fire burns low again, its glow steady, a heartbeat of amber light pulsing against the stone. Shadows stretch long across the floor, then curl back toward the warmth. The Queen lies half reclined in her bed, still awake but drifting, her thoughts moving like the tide, quiet, sure, rhythmic. Outside, rain has begun to fall. Not hard, not cold, just soft rain, the kind that sounds like parchment being turned. Each drop lands with care, whispering against the window's glass, running in slow silver lines down to the sill. That sound, steady and small, begins to blend with your own breath. Inhale, like the rain drawing back into the clouds. Exhale, like the rain returning to the earth. The rhythm settles. The story continues. The Queen watches the candlelight shimmer through the falling rain. Tiny reflections flicker and vanish, like stars being born and dying again in miniature. She loves the way the world mirrors itself, sky in the puddles, flame in the window, heart in the stars, everything turning, reflecting, repeating. Her eyes close, and the sound of rain grows louder inside her mind until it becomes something else, a lullaby of memory. She dreams, though her body is still half awake. In her dream, she walks through the gardens below the tower. The flowers glisten, their petals silvered with moonlight. Every leaf seems alive, whispering in a language made of breath. She follows a path between hedges and finds a marble fountain she's never seen before. The water there flows upward, yes, upward, as if defying gravity, curling and spiraling toward the sky. She steps closer, feeling its cool mist on her face. In the rising water, she sees constellations reflected, not the ones above, but strange new patterns, uncharted and glowing faintly. A voice, the same one from her earlier dream, speaks again, a soft tone like velvet brushing stone. Every discovery is a memory returning home, it says. You are not learning the stars, my Queen. You are remembering them. The Queen breathes out, and the upward fountain folds itself back into stillness. The garden darkens, becomes mist, becomes cloud. Then she's standing once more at her tower window. Only this time the stars outside move. Not slowly, not lazily, but in a graceful pattern, turning wheels, glowing orbits, precise and tender. She realizes that each light in the sky is part of a mechanism too vast to see, and in its rhythm she feels her heartbeat sink again, steady, quiet, infinite. The dream dissolves into a haze of soft color. Her eyelids flutter. The real world returns candlelight, rain, the faint hiss of logs collapsing in the hearth. She opens her eyes, still half in the dream. A faint smile tugs at her lips. The candle beside her trembles, as if it too has seen what she saw. She whispers, "Even the stars remember." Her words fade into the air, as light as breath. For a moment, she reaches for the small notebook that always rests beside her bed. Its cover is worn, corners rounded, the pages filled with thoughts written in the soft gray of night ink. She opens to a blank page and begins to write, not sketches this time, but words, flowing like the rain outside. The sky is an instrument, and I am one of its strings. When the wind moves, I sing. When the earth sleeps, I rest. When curiosity stirs, I awaken again. Her handwriting grows slower, the loops softer, until the quill slips from her fingers and rests against the page. The ink pools, slightly darkening one corner, a small comet of thought frozen mid-flight. She exhales. The rain continues its music, low and steady. Now the sound of the fire joins it, tiny cracks and sighs, the whisper of smoke curling upward through the chimney. You can almost hear the two sounds blending, water and flame, opposites made harmonious. Outside, lightning flickers once on the horizon. It isn't frightening, it's beautiful, a pulse of light across distant clouds, too far away to thunder. The Queen's room glows for a heartbeat, then dims again. And in that rhythm, you may notice something, that your own mind is starting to move slower, more fluidly, like that rain. Thoughts no longer sharp, just ripples across a calm pond. Each breath becomes longer, smoother. Each exhale carries away another small piece of tension, another tiny weight you no longer need to hold. The Queen, sensing her body's surrender to rest, pulls the covers higher. The sheets are cool, the pillow soft. Her bare feet find the comfort of warm linen. She turns onto her side, one hand resting lightly on the journal she just wrote in. Her final conscious thought is simple. What if curiosity is the soul's way of dreaming while awake? A smile lingers even as sleep finds her. Outside, the rain slows, then stops. The world holds its breath. Now the castle is utterly still. Only the faint, constant ticking of water droplets from the roof breaks the silence. A gentle, natural clock that keeps no time at all, except the rhythm of peace. Somewhere, deep within the earth, the same rhythm continues. The sound of roots drinking, stones cooling, rivers turning toward the sea. All the world sleeps, and in that sleep, everything renews. The Queen's dreams deepen. She walks again among stars, her gown made of light. You follow her there, just behind her shoulder, weightless, quiet. Each step you take leaves no mark, only a soft shimmer that fades behind you. Above, the constellations drift, patient, eternal, and you understand, without words, that rest is not the end of thought, but the beginning of another kind of discovery. The stars turn once more, the world turns with them. You too turn within your own calm, infinite orbit. And now there is only the sound of your breath, the whisper of her tower, and the gentle, steady voice of sleep, calling you nearer, closer, deeper. Let's continue to drift deeper into this calm night. Settle in once more, feeling the quiet embrace of your surroundings, and let your breath guide you gently forward. Night deepens softly outside the castle walls, folding the world into layers of shadow and gentle moonlight. The Queen rests quietly, her breath even and slow, the calm heartbeat of her room now echoing through your own. Beyond the window, the garden sleeps beneath a cloak of silver mist. Delicate flowers bow under the weight of dew, their petals shimmering like tiny lanterns in the dark. A faint breeze stirs, carrying the faint scent of rosemary and thyme, herbs carefully tended by hands long gone. The Queen's chamber is a sanctuary of stillness. Soft folds of cloth, worn wood, polished smooth by time, and the steady glow of candlelight all weave together to create a perfect nest for dreams. As you listen, you might imagine yourself there beside her, perhaps sitting quietly on the stone floor, a small shawl wrapped snugly around your shoulders, sharing this tranquil moment. Your fingers brush the cool surface of the tower walls, rough but steady, grounding you in the present calm. The Queen's notebook rests on her bedside table. Its pages, filled with thoughts and sketches, are now closed, but you can almost feel the weight of ideas it holds, the gentle hum of curiosity at rest. Outside, the stars trace their paths, silent and sure, like ancient guardians watching over the night. You might picture their slow dance, the soft sparkle of distant light, and the way the sky seems to breathe along with you. In this stillness, a new sound appears, the faintest flutter of wings. A small owl, silent as a shadow, perches on the balcony railing. Its amber eyes gleam, watching, patient and wise. The Queen smiles in her sleep, sensing a kindred spirit nearby. The owl's feathers ruffle in the night breeze. You feel the gentle pulse of air, the quiet rhythm of nature at peace. Breathe in that peacefulness and breathe out any lingering tension. In your mind's eye, the owl takes flight, a soft whoosh through the cool night air. It arcs high, gliding across the courtyard, past the sleeping guards, over the ancient stone walls, and into the vast, star-filled sky. You follow its path, floating with ease, weightless and free. The world below grows quiet and small, a tapestry of light and shadow. The castle's towers gleam like quiet sentinels beneath the moon. Far beyond, the earth sleeps, wrapped in the soft pulse of night. The owl's call echoes once more, a low, soothing sound that seems to carry all the stories of the world, whispered in the wind. You carry that call with you as you drift farther, the soft vibration weaving through your very bones. Now, you begin to descend gently back toward the Queen's tower. Your feet find the garden path again, soft with moss and dew. You pause beside the fountain, still dreaming of the water that flows upward, endless and mysterious. A single petal falls into the pool, sending ripples across the surface. You watch the gentle waves spread and fade, a quiet reminder that even the smallest movement can touch the vastness around it. The Queen's voice returns, a whisper in the dark, soft and sure. Curiosity is the star that guides the night. You hold that thought close, letting it settle deep within your heart. Now, the fire flickers once more, low and warm, and the Queen's breathing slows even further, the soft rhythm of complete surrender to sleep. Feel yourself drifting alongside her, carried by the night's gentle tide, safe and still. Let your mind float, untethered, as dreams begin to gather softly at the edges of your awareness. And with each breath, deeper and deeper, you sink into the perfect quiet of this medieval night, where stars, water, fire, and dreams come together in a dance as old as time itself. The night around the Queen's tower is thick with the gentle sounds of a world at rest. The steady tapping of raindrops has ceased, replaced by the soft rustle of leaves stirred by a whispering breeze. There is a coolness in the air now, the kind that brushes softly against skin and carries the faintest scent of pine and earth. Inside her chamber, the Queen lies peacefully, wrapped in the comfort of linen and silence. Her face is serene, illuminated faintly by the silver light spilling through the window. In that quiet glow, you might imagine the delicate dance of dust motes floating lazily in the air, drifting through the beams like tiny galaxies. Each one moves with grace, weightless, free. Outside, somewhere close, the low murmur of the river threads through the night, a steady, calming hum, like the pulse of the earth itself. You can almost hear the water's gentle lap against smooth stones, its soft sigh carrying away all worries and unrest. Now, picture the queen stirring slightly, her eyelids fluttering open just enough to catch a glimpse of the moon's pale face. A smile touches her lips, a secret shared between night and dreams. She reaches toward a small wooden box on her bedside table. Inside lies a compass, its brass surface worn smooth from years of curious hands. The needle quivers, pointing steadfastly north, a small reminder of direction in a world vast and mysterious. The queen traces the compass's rim with her finger, feeling its cool weight. In her mind, she travels far beyond the castle walls, to distant lands with forests that hum, mountains that whisper, and skies filled with stars unseen by most. Her thoughts drift like leaves on a stream, carried gently onward by the current of wonder. You follow along, light as a feather, carried by the same stream of quiet exploration. Each breath you take syncs with the slow flowing water. Inhale the cool mountain air. Exhale the warmth of your own calm spreading through your body. The queen's hand drops the compass back into its box with a soft click. She nestles deeper into her bed, pulling the covers snug around her shoulders. Outside, the wind picks up once more, soft but insistent, rustling ivy and carrying with it the distant echo of a lute's gentle melody. Somewhere, a traveling bard plays a tune that seems woven from starlight and shadows. The music drifts upward, weaving through the stone halls and into the queen's dreams. It's a lullaby for the curious heart, a song for those who look beyond the horizon and wonder what lies just out of reach. And as you listen to this silent melody, you feel your own mind begin to slow, your thoughts folding in like petals closing at dusk. The queen closes her eyes fully now, surrendering to the deep peace that the night offers. Her breathing is soft, steady, a quiet rhythm that carries her far beyond the tower, beyond time itself. You are there with her, floating gently on that rhythm, your body light, your mind calm. The world outside continues its quiet song, stars turning, leaves stirring, the river flowing, and in this perfect stillness, sleep enfolds you both, a soft, welcoming cloak. The chamber lies bathed in a gentle, silver light as the moon traces slow arcs across the sky. Outside, the garden has settled into a hush, the petals of night-blooming flowers closing gently as if whispering goodnight to the stars. The queen's breath moves like the rhythm of waves, soft and steady. Her dreams carry her now beyond stone walls and flickering candles out into the vast, mysterious night sky. She is no longer bound by the tower, but drifts freely among the stars. Here, in the quiet cosmos, she watches distant planets spin in slow, graceful dances, their orbits like gentle tides pulling at her heart. In this infinite space, the queen discovers something remarkable, a hidden pattern, a secret design woven into the very fabric of the heavens. It is an ancient melody, written in light and shadow, a song sung by the stars themselves. Imagine the calm wonder of floating beside her, feeling the cool velvet of space around you, the sparkle of starlight kissing your skin. You reach out, and the stars seem to respond, glowing softly beneath your fingertips, warm and alive. This celestial music is not loud or harsh, but a delicate hum that resonates deep within your soul, soothing and steady. It invites you to let go, to drift on the quiet currents of the night, to trust the unfolding mystery. As the queen listens, she understands that curiosity is not just a quest for knowledge, but a gentle journey of the heart, a longing to connect, to belong, to dream. And as you breathe in the same quiet truth, your own heart feels lighter, your thoughts gentler. You sink deeper into this peaceful stillness, carried by the soft cadence of the stars' song. The queen's figure begins to fade into the shimmering light of the cosmos, becoming one with the universe's calm pulse. Your eyelids grow heavy, your breath long and slow, as sleep's gentle tide carries you further into rest. Now, the story begins to fade, like the last flicker of a candle before dawn. But the quiet comfort of this night, the warmth of curiosity, the peace of discovery, remains with you. You are safe, you are calm, you are ready to dream. Let's continue to glide deeper into the peaceful night together. Allow your body to feel even heavier, your mind even softer, as the story gently unfolds. The night lingers, wrapped in a quiet stillness that feels like a soft, protective blanket. The castle, resting beneath the moon's watchful gaze, holds its secrets close, secrets whispered only to the stars. Inside the queen's chamber, the air is cool and fragrant with the subtle scent of lavender, a herb known in medieval times to bring calm and restful sleep. You might imagine the gentle flutter of curtains stirred by a tender breeze, the delicate rustle like the softest lullaby sung by the night itself. The queen's breathing is slow, a steady rhythm that matches the calm pulse of your own heart. Her dreams are a place of wonder, a world where science and magic blend, where curiosity shines like a lantern in the dark. She remembers the stories told by traveling bards, tales woven with truth and mystery. One story tells of a secret garden hidden deep within the castle grounds, a place where the moonflowers bloom only at midnight, their petals glowing with a light all their own. Imagine stepping quietly with her into that garden, where the world is hushed and everything feels soft to the touch. The flowers release a faint, sweet fragrance, and the air hums gently with the song of crickets and nightbirds. Together, you walk beneath the canopy of stars, the ground cool beneath your feet, the world wrapped in silver shadows. The queen stops beside a small fountain, its water shimmering like liquid glass, reflecting the light of the moon and stars above. Here, she pauses to think, to wonder about the vastness of the universe, the delicate balance of nature, and the endless dance of discovery that fills her days and dreams. You feel a deep calm wash over you, the steady flow of water, a reminder of life's gentle continuity. As you both linger in this secret garden, the night seems to stretch and expand, folding you into its quiet embrace. Every breath becomes softer, every thought quieter, until all that remains is the peaceful beat of the heart and the whisper of the breeze. The queen's hand finds yours, warm and steady, a silent promise of shared curiosity and calm. Together, you close your eyes, surrendering fully to the night's gentle magic. Sleep now finds you both, a soft tide carrying you into dreams filled with stars and quiet wonders. The castle rests, the garden sleeps, and the world holds its breath, waiting for the dawn, but at peace in the night. The first light of dawn begins to brush the horizon, though the world remains wrapped in soft, sleepy hues of blue and lavender. The stars slowly fade, like shy whispers slipping quietly away, making room for the gentle promise of a new day. Inside the queen's chamber, the candle has burned low, its flame flickering one last time before sighing out. The night's secrets, rest now in the cool shadows, cradled gently by stone and silence. The queen stirs softly, her dreams lingering like a delicate melody at the edge of waking. She breathes in the morning air, fresh, sweet, and filled with the quiet songs of waking birds. Outside, the garden blooms anew under the touch of dawn's first light. Each flower, each leaf, glistens with dew, a sparkling reminder that every ending is also a beginning. The queen rises, her eyes bright with the calm knowledge that curiosity never sleeps, it simply rests, ready to awaken with the sun. She picks up her notebook, the pages filled with dreams, questions, and quiet wonder. As you imagine her in this soft morning light, you may feel your own eyelids growing heavier still, your body sinking deeper into comfort. Your breath is long, slow, and steady, like the rhythm of the earth turning beneath the skies she so loves. The castle hums quietly, alive with the gentle stirrings of a new day. And you are held in that hum, safe, serene, and perfectly at peace. Now, as you prepare to drift fully into sleep, remember the queen's secret, that wonder is a gentle flame, always flickering, always warm, lighting the way through night and day, through dreams and waking hours alike. Let that warmth settle deep within you, a soft glow that will carry you through the night. Sleep well, dear listener. The stars watch over you, and tomorrow, curiosity will greet you again, soft as a morning breeze. Good night. Our next story is The Veil over the Apothecaries. Softly now, allow your breath to slow and deepen, like a quiet stream flowing gently through a shaded forest. Feel the stillness settle around you, the soft whisper of a breeze carrying the scent of old herbs and worn parchment. Let your body relax, your thoughts slow, and your mind opens like a flower unfolding under the soft glow of moonlight. Our story today begins in a small, shadowed room, tucked behind the bustling apothecary shop of a medieval village. The air here is thick with the scent of dried lavender, rosemary, and faint traces of mint-calming herbs carefully gathered. Soft beams of fading afternoon light drift through a dusty window, falling like golden silk across wooden shelves, heavy with jars and bottles of curious shapes and colors. In the corner stands a large mirror, its surface hidden beneath a delicate veil of soft, faded fabric. The apothecary, a gentle soul named Marin, always keeps the mirror covered. She says it is because when uncovered, the mirror reveals not your face, but the ailment hidden deep inside the unspoken imbalance of the soul and body. Marin's shop is a sanctuary, a place of quiet healing and whispered secrets. The crackle of a small hearth fire hums softly in the background, its warm glow painting gentle shadows on the worn stone walls. Outside, a gentle breeze stirs the leaves of an ancient oak, their soft rustling a lullaby in the still afternoon. In this peaceful space, the veil over the mirror feels like a promisor curtain between what is seen and what must rest in quiet mystery. Imagine now the soft warmth of the hearth against your skin, the subtle scent of herbs weaving through the air like a gentle breeze. Feel your breath grow slower, deeper, in soft out calm. Allow your mind to drift into the quiet room behind the shop, where healing is whispered in shadows and dreams. Marin often told visitors that the mirror was no ordinary glass. In a time when illness was as much a mystery as the stars, people believed that some mirrors could see beyond the surface into the heart's true condition. The medieval folk said such mirrors could reveal the soul's imbalance, showing shadows that no eyes could see alone. No one but Marin dared uncover the mirror. She said it was because the mirror did not simply reflect, but understood. When uncovered, the mirror showed the invisible ailments, the tiredness hidden in weary eyes, the quiet ache lodged deep in a troubled heart, or the restlessness that whispered beneath a calm smile. It was a mirror of truth and healing, one that demanded gentle care and reverence. Marin's fingers would brush the veil with a tenderness, as if touching the soft petals of a rare flower. And when she spoke of the mirror, her voice was always soft, like a lullaby sung by the wind through autumn leaves. Picture now the soft fabric of the veil, light and delicate between your fingers, and the quiet hush that fills the room as the mirror waits patiently beneath. Feel your breath slow and deepen, matching the gentle rhythm of the hearth's crackle and the rustle of leaves outside. Inhale calm, exhale ease. Let your mind rest here, safe in the quiet mystery of the veiled mirror. One quiet afternoon, as the sun dipped low, casting long shadows across the village, a weary traveler came to Marin's door. His footsteps were soft but heavy with fatigue. He entered the shop with a hesitant smile, carrying the weight of many miles in his eyes. Marin welcomed him with a warm, gentle nod, and guided him to sit near the hearth, where the fire flickered and danced. She listened quietly as the traveler spoke of strange aches that no healer could ease, and a restless tiredness that clung to him like a shadow. Marin reached for the veil covering the mirror, her fingers trembling just slightly. The traveler's gaze followed, curiosity and a hint of fear mingling in his eyes. Slowly, with a reverence born of long practice, Marin lifted the veil. The mirror gleamed softly, but the traveler's face was not there. Instead, the glass shimmered with subtle colors, soft blues and gentle grays swirling like mist. In the shifting light, the mirror revealed not just his face, but the weariness that hid beneath the unseen burdens that weighed upon his spirit. Marin whispered, her voice calm and soothing. The mirror sees what words cannot tell. It holds the quiet truths. The traveler's shoulders relaxed, a small sigh escaping him, as if a heavy cloak had been lifted. Imagine yourself sitting by the hearth, the warmth wrapping around you like a soft blanket. Hear the crackle of the fire, the whisper of the wind through the leaves outside. Feel the gentle weight of truth and understanding, and let your breath become slow and steady in soft, out calm. Let the veil of sleep fall gently now, covering your thoughts like the delicate fabric over the mirror. Marin reached for a small jar of lavender salve, her hands moving with practiced ease and a soothing grace. She dipped her fingers into the cool balm and gently rubbed it into the traveler's temples and wrists, whispering soft words of comfort and hope. The salve's calming scent mingled with the warm aroma of burning herbs, filling the room with a peaceful, dreamlike atmosphere. As Marin worked, the mirror's colors softened, the swirling blues and grays turning into gentle golden hues. It was as if the mirror itself was breathing, responding to the quiet healing unfolding nearby. The traveler's eyes grew heavy, his body sinking deeper into the chair as the warmth of the hearth and the scent of lavender wrapped around him like a lullaby. Marin covered the mirror once more with the delicate veil, restoring the room's quiet mystery. She smiled softly and said, "The mirror shows the hidden, but it is your own spirit that must carry the light of healing." Outside, the wind whispered through the branches, a soft lullaby inviting all to rest. Imagine the gentle scent of lavender weaving through the air, the warm touch of healing hands, and the deep calm settling into every corner of the room. Breathe in this peace. Inhale softness, exhale release. Let yourself drift now, wrapped in the tender comfort of the apothecary's care, as the veil of sleep falls like silk over your mind. Word spread softly through the village about the mirror in Marin's apothecary, a mirror that saw not the surface, but the hidden aches of the heart and body. Though many were curious, few dared ask to see it uncovered. They trusted Marin's gentle wisdom and respected the quiet veil that kept the mirror's secrets safe. Each evening, villagers would pass by the apothecary's glowing window, feeling a sense of comfort, knowing the room behind was filled with healing light and whispered care. Children, snug in their beds, dreamed of the shimmering glass beneath the veil, its soft colors shifting like a calm sea under the moon. Marin often thought of the mirror as a silent friend, a keeper of the village's quiet hopes and whispered fears. She tended her herbs, mixed her potions, and listened with a heart open as the sky. And when the veil was drawn, the room held its gentle breath, waiting for the next soul to find peace in its soft reflection. Picture yourself now, wrapped in the soft glow of twilight, the peaceful hush of a village settling into sleep. Feel your breath slow and deepen. Inhale calm, exhale rest. Let your thoughts grow quiet as the stars begin to twinkle outside. Allow the veil of sleep to fall gently over you, like the delicate fabric covering the apothecary's mirror. One evening, as twilight deepened into night, Marin sat alone in the quiet room behind her shop. The flicker of the hearth cast dancing shadows across the shelves lined with jars of herbs and powders. She touched the soft veil draped over the mirror with reverence, feeling the cool silk beneath her fingers. The veil seemed to hum softly in the stillness, a gentle murmur, like a whispered secret shared only with the night. Marin closed her eyes, breathing in the warm scent of chamomile and sage, letting the peaceful quiet seep into her soul. She knew that the veil was not just fabric, but a barrier between the seen and the unseen, a delicate boundary protecting those who came seeking healing. In that hush, the veil felt alive, as if it carried the stories of all who had ever stood before the mirror, their hopes, their fears, their quiet dreams of peace. The night outside deepened, stars beginning to shimmer faintly in the dark. A soft breeze stirred the edge of the veil, lifting it just enough to catch a glimpse of the glass beneath, still shimmering with the gentle colors of healing. Imagine the cool touch of silk between your fingers, the quiet murmur of the veil as it dances with the night air. Feel your breath slow and soften in gentle calm. Let the veil of sleep descend softly now, covering your mind and heart with its soothing embrace. Softly now, allow your breath to glide like a calm river flowing through the quiet woods, each inhale drawing in peace, each exhale releasing all tension as you settle deeper into stillness. Late one night, when the village was wrapped in a blanket of stars, a quiet knock came at Marin's door. A traveler, weary and pale, stood at the threshold, his eyes heavy with a silent plea. Marin welcomed him inside, the soft glow of the hearth warming the shadowed room. The visitor's hands trembled slightly as he spoke of a strange weariness, one no medicine had yet touched. With a gentle nod, Marin led him to the mirror's quiet corner. The veil remained drawn, soft and untouched. She motioned for him to sit, and with tender care, she began preparing a soothing brew of herbs, the aroma wrapping the room like a soft embrace. As the visitor sipped the warm tea, his gaze wandered to the veiled mirror. "May I see it?" he whispered, voice barely above the crackle of the fire. Marin's eyes held a calm wisdom as she replied, "The mirror reveals only what you need to see, not what you wish." Slowly, she lifted the veil, revealing the glass shimmering with soft, swirling light. The traveler's reflection shimmered and shifted, revealing not his face, but the restless shadows of his ailment. A quiet understanding softened his expression as he breathed deeply, feeling the weight begin to lift. Picture the warmth of the hearth, the gentle scent of herbs curling in the air, and the soft rustle of the veil as it moves through the stillness. Feel your breath match the steady calm of the room. Inhale peace, exhale rest. Let your mind drift gently now, wrapped in the quiet magic of the apothecary's room. As the traveler's eyes rested on the shimmering glass, the colors within the mirror slowly shifted. Soft golds and pale blues mingled like morning light filtering through mist. Marin spoke in a whisper, her voice like the gentle rustle of leaves, telling how the mirror did not heal itself, but reflected the strength within the heart. "The light you see is the beginning," she said. "It is your own courage and kindness that will bring the balm of healing." She lifted a small crystal vial filled with a golden liquid, its surface catching the firelight and scattering tiny rainbows across the walls. With delicate hands, she dabbed the elixir onto the traveler's wrists and temples. The cool touch brings a soft shiver of relief. Outside, the wind sang softly through the branches, a lullaby of reassurance and rest. The traveler closed his eyes, his breathing deepening into peaceful calm. The mirror's light pulsed gently in the quiet room, a silent song of hope and renewal. Imagine the warmth of golden light bathing your skin, the soft scent of healing herbs mingling with the cool night air. Feel your breath slow even more. Inhale warmth, exhale peace. Allow yourself to drift now, held tenderly in the healing glow of the apothecary's room. Very softly now, let your breath become even slower, like a gentle evening breeze caressing the leaves of a quiet forest. Feel the calm deepening inside you, a soft warmth spreading like golden light through every part of your body. As the night deepened, the traveler slept peacefully near the hearth, the warmth of the fire wrapping around him like a soft blanket. Marin sat quietly by the veiled mirror, her fingers tracing the delicate fabric as she whispered a gentle prayer of hope. She believed the mirror held a promise. With each new dawn came a chance for healing, for light to return. Outside, the first hints of morning began to shimmer on the horizon. Soft pinks and blues stretching across the sleepy sky. The village stirred gently, birds beginning their morning songs. The veil fluttered softly in the breeze, as if breathing with the rhythm of the world itself. Marin smiled, feeling the quiet peace that comes when night fades into day and all things are made new. Imagine the soft colors of dawn filling the sky, the gentle song of waking birds, and the calm breath flowing slowly through you. Inhale light and exhale calm. Let the promise of a new day carry you gently into the soft embrace of sleep. Very gently now, let your breath flow like a calm river beneath a twilight sky, soft and steady, carrying you deeper into the quiet comfort of the night. The veil once more draped softly over the mirror, its delicate fabric shimmering in the fading light. Marin rose from her chair, her movements slow and deliberate, like the closing petals of a night-blooming flower. The apothecary's room settled into a peaceful hush, broken only by the gentle crackling of the hearth's last embers. Outside, the world drifted quietly toward dreams, the village wrapped in a blanket of stars and whispered wishes. Marin took a deep breath, feeling the calm that filled the room, a calm born of gentle healing, quiet trust, and soft mysteries. She knew the mirror's secret would rest safely beneath the veil until needed again, a silent guardian of the soul's gentle truths. Now, as you lie beneath your own veil of sleep, feel the same peaceful hush settle over your mind and heart. The quiet warmth of the apothecary's room, the soft scent of herbs and healing, and the gentle promise of rest all wrap around you like a tender lullaby. Breathe in this calm, inhale softness, exhale peace. Allow yourself to drift now, resting gently beneath the veil of sleep, held safe and warm until morning's light. Sleep well, and may your dreams be as soothing and gentle as the apothecary's quiet room. Good night.